Alrighty, hello internet, my name is Marcell Murray, and today I've got something of a interesting video, one that I think we can all get behind, because hairstyle. How is it? Why is it? When is it? So I was getting ready for work the other day, and as I was picking out my beautiful, luxurious afro, the best hairstyle known to man,
don't at me,
I got to thinking about anime hair and why it is the way it is. How much is it to maintain, to upkeep, and things of that nature? And I thought, what better anime to really get into that question than with Yu-Gi-Oh! And all the other ones that came after it. So I figured we'd take a little trip down memory lane and just kind of give us first impressions about what we see and how we feel about it. Whether you're sub or dub, it doesn't matter. We're all here to have a good time. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy yourself, because this is going to be a long one. So like every YouTuber out there, you know what I'm about to say. Let's get into the video. YuGiOh! Now, it's time to do this. Alright, so it looks like we just start off with the normals, Yugimoto and Joey Wheeler. And don't forget about his sister, Serenity.
Serenity, the duel hasn't even started yet.
This is pretty normal. This is pretty fine. Am I biased? I will never tell you, but let's be real, Yu-Gi-Oh's near and dear to my heart. My big sister loved this show growing up, and by proxy, I also loved it. Yeah, like, the first iteration, as silly as it was with finger guns and censorship, it's great, but that's neither here nor there, I promise. I'm not ranting.
nobody cares.
Come on, Yugi's hair. That'd be pretty wild if you did see it in real life. Like, how do you get the bangs right? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I know I got my bangs right and everything like that, but like, that's neither here nor there. Perfect. But the bangs are pretty funky. It's literally a 3-piece set, and he rocks it. He rocks it. Joey, I'd say it's pretty average in their world. Like, you know, big old bush, you know.
I can relate.
So yeah. Nothing to see here, Your Honor. Let's keep it moving. Ah, yes, the man himself. He grew an extra spike of hair, as you normally do when you're picking it out to the fullest. This is fine. This is fine. I was always surprised how he wore his jacket like a cape and how it never flew off. I've tried that before, and it does not work the way you think it does, so please, on a windy day, don't try it. Kaiba? I mean, it's Kaiba. What am I supposed to say other than, like, the jacket's nice, the belt buckles on the arms, it's a little extra. I know I said hairstyles, but I feel like I'm also going to be dipping into, like, their character designs too, but again, their character designs in Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't too egregious. It's not until I think, like, 5Ds is where it really starts to get crazy, and even GX dips its toe a little bit into certain things, but we'll get there when we get there. So Kaiba's hair, it's fine. It's fine. It's like Joey's, but like a little more condensed and just inverted. Hold on. Or like horizontally flipped.
I don't want to hear another word.
Nothing wrong with this. Let's move on. Wow, he is short.
Bruh.
This reminds me of something that my mom once noted. So this little guy over here is Weevil. He plays with a very bug style deck, and his name is spelled W-E-E-V-I-L, and my mom looked at that and goes, why is his name like that? It's like, it says we evil, and I'm just like, that's pretty big brained, but like, she's not wrong, but at the same time, it's just like,
Mama, relax, this game is not here to take over my life.
But I may or may not have an addiction to Master Duel.
Holy shit.
Yeah, baby!
But that's neither here nor there. So anywho, it's normal. Got the bob haircut. I think that's like a typical, like, you know, smart, astute style for like kids in Asia. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a Japan-oriented show. Made there, creator is Japan.
What?
The creator is Japan, creator is Japanese, so it's in line to this. It works. It works. I like his glasses. It has like a little bit of a bug aesthetic going on. As somebody who wears glasses himself, I can appreciate the little things. His jacket is garbage, and I see he's got the little bow tie thing going on with the little frivolly foofs in the middle. Very elegant, very royal. Didn't notice that until right about now, actually. Harpy ladies, let's see what we got here. She was so mature for this show. And back in Duelist Kingdom, yo, honestly, she had a pretty sweet character, you know? She gave Joey her locator card.
Stupid.
Was it a locator card? No, Star Chip. She gave her star chip. She had some genuine moments in season 1. I did feel a little salty that she kind of like forfeited the match to Taya and tried to make it seem like, oh yeah, Taya was better, but like, I like Taya. Taya could be cool, but the show just wasn't focused on that, and that hurts my heart. So, not ranting, but just an observation. But yeah, no, her hair is very bountiful, very luxurious, and I can't help but notice that I've seen a few cards that have this particular hairstyle. I think Ropa Spirit comes to mind, and a few of the Amazon cards, so I don't know if they were trying to say something with that, or if they were just kind of running out of like hairstyles / ideas, which is surprising because again, we still have like 4 more spin-offs to cover. I don't think they'd be creatively bankrupt so soon, unlike a certain show that will not be named. So yeah, I think this is a pretty cool style. She's got that mature look to her. She's a pretty sharp duelist. She actually played with a pretty consistent deck if you remove the idea that she was smelling her way to victory the whole time, which I don't know how you get that going, but whatever. Maybe she's the sheer shoe from the last Airbender. Mako. I think he wanted to be Naruto, but he started with 1 scar on his face and he was like, nope, I can't do this. It's too much. I'm just gonna stick to the aquatic ocean. The dinosaur duelist. Rex Raptor. You know, this is a little weird because his ace monster, Red Eyes Black Dragon, now belongs to Joey, but Joey touts it like it's his main card, but all of Joey's main staple cards are cards from off of other duelists. Jinzo, Red Eyes, Legendary Fisherman. Like, all the cards that are, like, popular came from these... I know he was, like, a regional champion or whatever it was, but, like, Rex Raptor, Weevil, they're, like, B- at best, right? They're, like, B- at best. Okay, maybe, like, a B+. But, yeah, it's so weird. So, like, I guess whenever they roll out archetypes for, like, Jinzo and Red Eyes, I'm just kind of like, yeah, it's all the Rex supporters out there. There it is. That's your representation. He's got the beanie, so I respect that. He does have a lot of hair. I would wonder if his hair kind of goes outward like Yami Yugi, or does it just kind of go downward like, you know, other normal characters in anime. But this is pretty normal. This is pretty normal. I'm fine with this. Plus he has a dinosaur deck, so I'm totally not biased. Ooh, this is where it starts to get a little funky. So Bakura, like regular Bakura, Yami Bakura definitely more protrude spikes. I always thought it was weird that his hair in the middle did like that weird like woo, like little spider claw hands, but it's cool. It's not too crazy. I do like how it mixes with his plain Jane white and blue striped shirt. I actually have a shirt just like this, except it's white and green, and I would totally wear it on stream, but it would make all my green lines invisible because the beauty of green screen. The Millennium Ring is a nice touch. I also have a Millennium Necklace myself, given to me by my dad. I love you. This is fine. This is fine. It was also cool that he was like the undercurrent of the show the entire time. That's pretty cool. This dude,
Heart been broke so many times.
how is his wrist not heavy from all of that? I don't know, but this guy, I don't know what was up with his cards, but the 1610s, the 1930s, the 1425s, this dude would make your life points fugly, and I've always hated him for that. But you know what? If I wasn't looking at that and I was just looking at his design, it's alright. He's got like a bouncer thing going on. It feels like it's kind of going on like chains and whips, BDSM, leather. But yeah, he's got a lot of like edge to him, and I'd like to think that he's actually balding up top, and that's why he wears that little cap to cover it, so he can come off as more intimidating. He also looks like one of those bombshells from like the Mario Kart games. 9 out of 10 panics would panic again.
I wear my heart on my sleeve.
This guy is malnourished and he's sleep deprived, and he's also voiced by Taya in the dub. The more you know. He also got killed by Bakura in the sub, and in the dub I'm sure they found some way to kill him off humanely, but yeah, he dies in both versions. So if you're wondering why we never see him afterwards, it's because Bakura put him 6 feet under, no pun intended, as he fights with the zombie deck. Oh my god! Ah, Taya. My sweetheart. Taya's cool. Taya's legit. I think she should have had a lot more screen time. I think she should have had more agency in her duels, but because the show is a shonen, it has to take that shonen route. But props to her for starting one of the most funniest memes of the friendship symbol. Ah, Pegasus. What can't be said about Pegasus? I like the red, the coat. It's just it's style. You know what I'm saying? And the white hair that just kind of like droops down, kind of like what I've got going on, because this is my normal hairstyle whenever I get imbued with the power of friendship. This is normal. This is normal. Again, not too crazy. It's practical. It covers up his millennium eye, so nobody could ever tell that he's cheating. This works. I have also noticed that he too has the frivolly foof like Weevil did, but instead of it being a bow tie, he's just got a regular shoestring that kind of comes around the neck and then rests gently on his chest. So 8 out of 10 tunes, would watch again. Ah, yes, Bandit Keith, the rogue rebel of America himself. Honestly, Bandit Keith, if we remove the fact that he's a straight up cheater, his deck was pretty solid. This dude was holding on to Mechanical Chaser, which is an 1850 attack beat stick with no particular special effect. Not many Yu-Gi-Oh monsters at the time was running 1850, and you didn't really have that many staples of 1900 other than like Gemini Elf and Lejeune. That was really it. Mechanical Chaser was running the game.
I'm better! I am better!
If he wasn't such a cheater, he'd probably be good, but I don't know if that's a statement on America, but that is neither here nor there.
Wow.
So let's see. His hairstyle, I'd imagine if he did not have this bandana on, I feel like his hair would kind of go like downward. It's like a, what's the word? He feels like a beer guy, you know, someone that you'd want to have a beer with, or at least in my case, some Diet Pepsi. But I feel like it'd be like a downward look. And then he could take the bandana and wear it as like a handkerchief, or at least like tie it around his arm or something like that. And if Yu-Gi-Oh wasn't done by 4 kids in terms of like the censoring, you know, having a tattoo of the American flag somewhere on his body probably would have been more in line to who he is. And I think he'd also be a smoker too.
I was styling out there.
Ah yes, the Rare Hunter. This always looks a little weird because the pencil work seems a little bit lighter than like our main cast of characters. But yeah, it's pretty normal. Slick back white hair, big old cape, little gold chain, but like he has nothing else going on. Blue on top, blue on the bottom, black to go over the shoulders. That's pretty much it. I'd imagine in like their world, he's probably like 40 with nothing going on too particularly noticeable in his life. Maybe getting mind controlled was probably the best thing for him. Oh, this guy, Arcana. He had the Black Dark Magician. Need I say more? This is okay. I think the bow tie and the shirt and the mask is definitely overkill. I do like the top hat.
Milady. Sorry, milady.
And again, he did have the Black Dark Magician, which was always weird because what is the mainstay of Dark Magician? Is he green-skinned? Is he brown? Is he blue? I'm not ranting. Nothing too noticeable to say. Nothing too egregious to think about. Cut those shoulder tips off before your ankles, yeah. Oh, this guy. Also kind of like the Rare Hunter, there's just something about his art that doesn't look as like, it doesn't like pop like Yami Yugi's. When you're a side character, you don't get privileges. Shout out to Yami Yugi for creating an infinite loop and decking this goofball out. He had it coming. I get the piercings, I get the Gara thing going on. I think the green little knapsack bag is a little silly, but I'm sure he carries his dual disc around with that because his arms are already occupied with all these bedangles and bracelets. Plus he doesn't have any hair for me to critique on. Ooh, Odeon. So he has hair in the back, like a ponytail, but obviously the most thing that's noticeable about him is the markings on his face. He's got a pretty cool character design. You know, it's not too much, it's not too little. Big body, purple on purple, totally not my favorite color. And a little bit of like a tinge of Egyptian in him. You know what I mean? This is a nice design. He also got domed in the head by a fake Ra, or by the real Ra for playing a fake copy of Ra.
You dare? You dare?
No, 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 no.
Also, who makes the cards in Yu-Gi-Oh? Like the counterfeit cards? How does that work? How does that get approved? Somebody let me know in the comments below. Definitely wouldn't want to duel him because his deck is very annoying. He's very trap based, so a lot of set 5 and pass. He'd get crushed in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, let's put it that way. Oh, Shizu, what's not to say? My big sister never really cared for a Shizu because she thought, at least this is my sibling headcanon, she thought that a Shizu would try to move on Yami Yugi in terms of like the ship, and she comes from the wheelhouse of, you know, Yami Yugi and Taylor. I'm arguably in that same boat as well. She always thought a Shizu was like trying to like make moves because they both had that common thread of being Egyptian. The Millennium Necklace is a nice touch. I like the jewelry around the collarbone near the boba tee. Gold waist belt is pretty tight, but you know what? She pulls it off pretty well, so I'm gonna give her a pass on that. But overall, she's a pretty solid character design and something that I could see in real life if there was ever a live adaptation. I don't know why my mind just popped into like what is her name? Salim Haymaker? The lady with the big eyes. Yami Merrick. This guy. Let's start from the top, shall we? Okay, the hair. Super duper crazy. Like, this looks like something I would draw if I watched tons of Dragon Ball Z and like a smidge of Yu Yu Hakusho. It's just crazy. I always thought it was weird that his bangs kind of did like a little outward, like the little wings of glory kind of thing. This is nice. He's got the Millennium Eye for peak intimidation factor. He's got the earrings for peak fashion. He's got the gold braces, which I get, but it's just like, how do you bend your neck? It's also starting to make me think of like, how old is Merrick? I'd imagine he's like 16, 17. Considering that, like, you know, Yugi and then Yami Yugi, but at the same time, they always said that he's a 5,000-year-old spirit, but he looks like a teenager. But like, it'd be crazy to think if Yami Merrick was like also a teenager, because this dude was just a straight savage on demon time. His Millennium Rod also doubles as a knife when you unsheathe the very bottom of it, as he almost dotted out Odeon's eyes. So take that with what you will, because for kids. Now this is Mai with Waking the Dragons, which was the 4th season to Yu-Gi-Oh, which was filler. Let's put it this way, their filler is interesting. Yes. So this is Mai in her new getup. It's pretty restrained. I think the if we're gonna start from the bottom and work our way up to the top, the extra belt that kind of like hangs off on the side that does absolutely nothing for her, unless it does. I don't know. I'm not a woman, but like, it doesn't do anything other than just kind of like accentuate the hips, which probably made 4 kids mad because they're like, ugh, like more things that we have to censor.
Attitude. 4. Performance. 4. Management skills. 4. Works well with others. That's a big joke.
Shut the fuck!
I know a lot of people probably had their awakening when they saw like Shigo, Hina from Atlantis. Maybe some people also found it through Mai. And maybe that's how they got into the Cologne game. I don't know. I wasn't there when it happened. Then we got a little belly button midriff, which is, it's fine. I feel like Mai is probably like, maybe like 19, 20, 21 at best, 25 if I'm really pushing it, which also makes her relationship with Joey kind of like, whoa. But hey, anime, right? Go women! The earrings, they're fine. They're like little donut rings. I wish they were green to go more in line with like the Seal of Orichalco's theme, since she went like all in with it. And then of course her hair is kind of the same, more or less. Still has that big, bountiful mess of a wig. Don't at me, it's totally not a wig, it's my natural beauty. I always forget his name, but then I remember it because of the card Alistair the Invoker. I don't know what they were going for this in particular, but he's also giving me 5D vibes. I'm just gonna call it. He gives me an androgynous feel. I don't know if that's what they were going for in season 4, because it's like a filler and they can, like, you know, play around with more ideas and things of that nature, but he just kind of feels like he's like a middle of the road. He's got the crazy jacket, but he's got like the super duper crop top t-shirt. He's got the Orichalcos necklace going on. That's really it. He also looks like he has hair from GX, which is what was the main character's name? Juden. Juden. He's giving me Jaden Yuki hairstyle vibes, but it's a little curved and like bouncy. It's bulbous. We have Australian Joey. I definitely remember this guy because he fused with his monster, I think. And Joey did the same thing with Red Eyes,
which was also Rex Raptor.
He's got the little biker pads because I think he rode around on a bike for the most part. Red shirt, leather, a lot of buckles, lots of buttons. Like the way I see it is like, imagine undressing yourself. But like, how do you do this every single day, right? You gotta upkeep your hair, obviously, but like now you gotta like put all this baggage on. I look at Valons and I'm just like, this is a lot. And then he's got little goggles, which is fine. His hair, it's like generic, normal anime shonen pro tag hair. Like, my name is like Kazuya Tachibana. This guy, if you know, you know, definitely surprised my dad when my big sister was watching it with him and he supposedly beat Yami Yugi.
No way! Yugi actually lost!
Shut your f***ing mouth! Shut the f*** up, you!
There was a lot of shenanigans in that duel, but like, he beat Yami Yugi, okay? Big air quotes.
Yugi lost!
Daddy, chill.
He's got the Orichalcos necklace, just like, that thing is like, it's around his neck. it has no space to breathe. It's just like,
your little necklace belongs to me.
like it's that tight. He's got the buckle, which it's fine. I think he rode around in a bike as well. I feel like this is where they were getting the idea of card games on motorcycles, but like I could be wrong in saying that. Let's address the elephant in the room. The earring. Why two, but not also on the other side? Do people usually do like asymmetrical piercings? I don't know if this is just like how they drew him for this particular frame in the game. The shadowing of his eyes and then the furrow of his brows, it's a little too much. It looks like he has extra hair there. And then finally, the bangs that go all the way up to the side of his face. Like, how could you have hair that just goes up to the side of your cheeks like that? It's disgusting, Machikayo. That's all I have to say. But he only has clout because of beating Yami Yugi.
You're a disgrace to the game, Yugi!
That's why your mama did.
This is a lot. I do really like his color scheme. I think of like cotton candy when I see it, but it's cotton candy if it was out to kill you and take your soul. Now, fun fact for me anyways, I did have the Orichalcos dual disc. I think my mom threw it away because, again, my mom thinks Yu-Gi-Oh is the devil incarnate.
And she's technically not wrong.
The older I got, the more I started to see certain things, and Mom, thanks for always looking out for me.
Mother knows best.
He was pretty funky. He more or less ran a cult. He has heterochromatic eyes, so that should have been your first red flag. I do like the very like poof. It feels like it has a lot of breathing room. It looks comfortable. It's baggy, but it's comfortable baggy. You know what I'm saying? Looking at his hair, he's got like a bit of Yami Yugi's bangs with a little bit of Mai in the back, but he's also got like the little like the like Joey's hair. Overall, not bad. It definitely stands out as like a rememberable season 4 filler, mind you, villain. So I think that's fine. If you can remember somebody based off of their silhouette, congratulations, you have a pretty solid character. Oh, jeez. Okay, now... Okay, I feel a rant coming on for this one, so follow me here. So like when GX kicked off, I like GX and I hate GX for a lot of things. Let me start with why I don't like it. I don't like it because my sister didn't like it. My big sister loved Yu-Gi-Oh! She would get the Bucket or Beckett anime books and the Shonen Jump books for Yu-Gi-Oh!
But we couldn't get them.
And she was fine with us having the trading card game, but she didn't want us to get the video games.
Until my big brother got Duelists of the Roses on the PlayStation 2. So...
yeah, sibling politics are weird, but if you know, you know. But she did not like GX. We all felt like GX just kind of picked up where Yu-Gi-Oh left off, but Yu-Gi-Oh felt like it didn't finish. It was very bittersweet. Yami and Yugi had their final fight. Atem goes to the afterlife. Yugi now becomes a man. The ship of Taya and Yugi and Yami was never confirmed. You know, the real important questions. And it felt like GX just kind of was like, okay, we're just gonna move past all that. It's not important. Now there's this next King of Games because it's just what you are. So yeah, for that merit alone, I didn't like GX. But then like, eventually I got around to watching it and I still hated it. I just didn't like how like this random kid was supposed to be like the next King of Games. Now, he could be, right? He could be. But I guess what I'm trying to say is the technicality of him being forced to be the next King of Games because it's just how the show works versus him working up to it was what was really like getting my goat. As I got older and as I kind of like revisited certain aspects of it, I never watched it from front to back, but from what I did watch, it was alright. I don't know why I went on a tangent about talking about the overall story of it, but like, anywho, Jaden looks like a Karibo. No. It's not like main character hair. Like if you put him in a silhouette, I wouldn't know. I'm gonna keep it $1.50. As far as like a character design goes, doesn't really strike a chord with me. And I always thought it was weird that he was supposedly the weakest out of all the dorms or stuff like that because they take place in a school. And it goes Slifer, Ra, and Obelisk. But like Slifer can get pretty OP. Ra was so busted that it had like 20 plus effects and it could barely be translated over properly in the TCG. And then Obelisk was fine because he had a base stat of 4K across the board. But I think it was just Kaiba's ego of like, yeah, Obelisk is the best. Make him the top.
I'm funny.
This guy, I think his name was Crowler. He played with Ancient Gear Golems, which I guess they tried to make a thing, which it was okay for a time, but like it never popped off like Cyber Dragons did. Honestly, if there's just one thing I had to say about him, is just that I just don't like his Adam's apple. I don't like how they drew it. It was so weird. Plus, I think in the show, he had like a PhD in dueling, which sounds really cool on paper, but like he always had his bacon handled to him every single time. The only saving grace is that he was voiced by Sean Shamel, which, if you know, is the voice of Goku, so he gave a lot of fun energy to the character. He seemed like a Randolph from like Recess, just like he just felt like a snitch. But anywho, his hair is fine. I think he has like ponytails in the back, or a ponytail, I can't remember. He was very on the flamboyant side, like a Neo Pegasus, but without all of the charm. He's very old, so that also doesn't help his case. He's got the earrings. It would have been cool if he had like gear light earrings to really play into his deck style, or at least give you like a hint of it, but I don't know. I don't make characters for a living. He's got the Frivolly Foof. This is where we start to really get into some crazy designs moving forward. And then he's got the Frivolly Foof Saiyan pads, can't leave home without them, and Obelisk blue gear, which, if I'm looking at his outfit correctly, it looks like the Frivolly Foof is supposed to be worn underneath, and then he puts the jacket on. So again, feels very impractical. There's just a lot happening. Next. I promise you I'm not looking at her breast, I'm looking at her collar, because I'm trying to figure, like, how does her outfit work? Not that I'd want to know why it works, but for the sake of this video, how does her outfit work? But she's very basic. She's very basic. She had a pretty solid deck, but I think they didn't do anything with it. So that's unfortunate, because I think Alexis, she got the Taya treatment. I promise I don't hate GX, but like GX was kind of like sometimes, at least story-wise. Like this guy, perfect. I think he had like a Millennium puzzle and it turned out to be a fake, and it was like, again, counterfeit items in the world of Yu-Gi-Oh is not a new thing. We had it with the Winged Dragon of Ra, multiple copies of Exodia. I can understand a counterfeit Millennium item in this world, but it's the way they tried to do it that made me go, this, like, you're obviously doing this because you're trying to be like, hey, Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, and get like old people into it. He gives me Panic vibes. He's like a Neo Panic. A lot of the GX characters are going to be Neo, fill in the blank. He's got the trench hat, he's got the trench coat. It's a little weird that like his outfit is so straight that even his collar dare not bend, right? I think having the dual disc like on your body as like this weird appendage is pretty cool, but like he also had the Millennium puzzle on top of it, so it's like very cumbersome, right? It's like if I had my dual disc across my chest and then I try to like draw a card but my chain keeps getting in the way. It's not practical, because again, when this guy has to go to the bathroom or like, I don't know, go to sleep, how do you take all of this off? Oh, this guy. Another thing I thought was weird was when it came to their outfits. I get that Jaden wore his open because, again, he's the main character, so he has to be different. But like the Obelisk dorm outfits of the dark blue and then the white blue, I don't remember if the show ever explained that that was just like to denote like a certain like level of a duelist, but I never liked how there was that lack of uniformity within their rank. But I don't know, I feel like it would be to denote a higher level of a duelist, but I could be wrong. I was watching GX in like spurts, and it didn't help that I think the last season of it was never aired on our side of the world because it just started getting really dark. There was only so much 4Kids could do, and then I think they also wanted to get 5Ds going, so they nipped the bud in this, got 5Ds going, which also then nipped the bud in their show because they wanted to get Zexal going. So yeah, that should tell you where that was going. But maybe that's what GX gets for just picking up the bandwagon and not giving DM OG Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just due.
But I'm not ranting.
If we're looking at his outfit, and just his hairstyle overall, it's all right. You know, it's nothing crazy. It's not like my hairstyle where like it's bountiful. It's just droop down. You take a pencil, you go this way, you go down, and that's it.
What the fuck?
But we overlook all of that because he had one of the strongest decks in this generation. Oh geez, these two. Where do I begin? So this guy's name is Chaz, most famously known for his catchphrase of Chaz it up. I'm not gonna rant, but
Definitely cringe.
his hair is a little weird. His hair looks like how to draw anime 101. It's like, I don't know how to draw a hair and make it look noticeable. And it's like, well, just give it lots of spikes. Like spikes. You can only look at it from a certain angle, and then that's all you can do with it. Now he is wearing the dark blue outfit, but if I remember correctly, he lost like so many duels to the point where he like left the island, went to another school, beat everybody there and then came back with just like a black trench coat. I felt like they wanted to make him the Kaiba of the show, but then they kind of pulled the rug and made Zane the Kaiba because he played with the Cyber Dragons, which were like a riff on the Blue Eyes. But this guy, Chaz, played with Armed Dragons and Dragons. If you don't have any ideas, just pick Dragon. I felt like that's where they were going with it, but they pulled the rug and they made him what he was at the end of the series, which I think he played with Ojamas, which were like these little miniature naked monsters with Speedos.
YuGiOh.
On the left, we have, I think his name is Bastion? Yeah, I think it's Bastion. His last name is like Misawa or something like that. I think it's Bastion Misawa. I could be wrong. I'm off the cuff here. If that is the case, that's kind of funny because like of all the times YuGiOh dubbing doesn't want to use like their Japanese names, they go and do it with Bastion. He's fine. I mean, he was raw yellow. The dude literally walks around with like 10 decks in his coats, and I was just like, that's kind of funny. And it makes sense in their world. Like in a world where like the fate of the world or like the next world war is dependent off of a card game, it makes sense that you'd run in deep with all this heat. I think his most notable deck was the Fire and Water Dragon.
Of course, it's a dragon.
His hair is fine. They give him like these lines, you know, they give him like the Tristan treatment, and I think that's fine. The green and yellow, it's a nice combination. Not too overbearing, but like, again, raw yellow. It's yellow, it's in your face. It's the sun. This guy, he's the brother of Alexis. He's very tall. I think he's a goofball after he like joins the good side, which I don't know why that's always a thing with like characters who were bad and then they join the team and then they just become like,
oh, I'm not a threat anymore. I'm silly.
The pendant on his body, there was something about like Millennium Keys and like resurrecting the sacred beast. Man, saying that out loud makes this sound really demonic. Man, mama, you were right. Let's put it this way, the knockoff Egyptian god cards. Egyptian god Lights, there's really not much to him. He's got a lot of hair. The Red Eyes mask, that's the only way you're gonna really notice him. Why a Red Eyes mask? Who took the time to make that? I don't know, but it was a thing.
That's all I want to say.
I think her name's Camila. She's a vampire. Yeah, she's a vampire. Like, there's vampires in the world of YuGiOh. Like, I guess this is possibly believable because if I remember correctly, in the Capsule Monsters movie spin-off filler, you had Alexander the Great. But yeah, there's like legitimate vampires in this world. I can't remember if the bracelet around her neck was a Millennium item. If it was, that makes me wonder about the Millennium items because I'm pretty sure there's more than just 7 of them. There's the puzzle, eye, necklace, ring, rod, scale, and the key. Yeah, there's 7 Millennium items, but I think there might be even more because you had things like the Millennium Shield, the Millennium Golem, which was a Yu-Gi-Oh monster.
Not a meta-defining card or anything, it's just a regular card that has Millennium in its name.
And then you also had this weird, funky vanilla monster, which had like all the certain Millennium items on its back. I can't remember the name, but it's like blue, and it's like very like, if anybody knows, just let me know down below, per usual. I think it starts with a G? Genin? Sangan? No, we already have a Sangan. It has a G in its name somewhere. It's a blue monster. That's all I know. It's a blue monster with like Millennium items and it's a base vanilla card. Go off of that with what you will. Go.
Hey, you! What are you doing down there? I'm just looking for my
Sanjunjun.
I got it!
I think something just hit the table.
I don't remember her name. I don't think it's important. I do remember this episode and my big sister watching it with me just because it just had that, I don't want to call it petty, but like, it had what I like to call fake stakes. She, I think, had a thing for Jaden.
But she was a Yu-Gi-Oh monster?
Which I don't know how that also worked. Like, monsters are now able to, like, duel with you. But it was like a filler. But it was like a goofy filler. And she played with a lot of, like, Amazon monsters. So it was kind of like a callback to mine, which was pretty cool. Pointy ears, big old bracelet, bigger body, bigger breasts. And apparently she got one in the eye from a tiger. GX, right? This is the next generation. This is Neo Mai. If Mai only ate protein and hit the gym 5 times a week. I'm sure 4Kids censored the heck out of the you know, top heavy parts. I like her hair too. It's very simple. Like, I think when I used to draw, I think I would just do like the basic like bald headed look, put some hair on it, and then like make a ponytail. Because again, next to the afro, the next best hairstyle is the ponytail. I don't know if you know, but now you do. Oh my gosh, blast from the past. It's darts all over again. It's honestly, it's darts, it's Merrick, it's Joey, it's Yugi, and it's Mai. Like, it's all of their hairstyles in one. Like, the big poofy shoulders, like, it's a thing. Like, I think his whole gimmick was like alchemy. He played with a card that had like a sun for like a head. I think it's like primordial sun or something like that. And his deck focused on banishing cards to the graveyard to make the monster stronger. I don't know why he didn't just play with Grand Logic, but I digress. I'm not ranting. It also bothers me a little bit that if you look at his bangs, if you start on the right side and go 1, 2, 3, 4, the far left bang, it's always weird that it just kind of like bends out when, if I was drawing it, my hand would want to curve it in, but that's just me. Again, he's got so many veins on his face that his blood pressure must be like through the roof. I'm not a medical profession, but I do look at medical things professionally. Okay, this is reminding me of later Yu-Gi-Oh villains who would just be buff because. And it's like, why? Does that enhance your dueling skill whatsoever? I don't think it does. Well, to be fair, I think there was a dueling monkey in GX, so...
In a world run by card games,
maybe having a fit physique is like the thing to do. But if I remember correctly, he was a very old man, and then because of the Sacred Beast, he regained his youth, but his youth was supposedly a bodybuilder? It was weird. Did you have to be buff? He's very basic as far as character designs go. He's just a DBZ character with long hair, and that's it. Plus, I don't know why his smile is so far up his nose that it looks like he's giving what I like to call the Butterman smile, where it's just like ba ha ba ba ha ba ba ga da. Eyeliner's not too bad. His hair, I mean, I do like his hairstyle, but like he's just a bland character, and the fact that his hair is ever so, you know, cleverly placed above the nipples, just makes it feel like a weird character design overall. If you silhouette him, I wouldn't know. I'd probably think it's somebody from Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, hit the trash. Oh, this guy. I know he made a lot of food puns because tee ha ho, he's fat. Like, I don't know why they always gotta go for the, no pun intended, lowest hanging fruit. But like, they did it with my boy Choji, and I didn't like that either. But I think they took it a unique step with Choji because food was his ammunition. He needed that to be effective in combat. Because he killed a man for a bag of chips. But Chumlee, I think he played with koalas, and Pegasus took him under his wing to like make cards, which I thought was cool. That's a cool thing. It's like a dueling intern. Like the world of Yu-Gi-Oh, their world building was really starting to make sense by GX, but it was really getting weird because there's a lot of theories out there where, excuse me, very attractive, excuse me, mildly attractive, where like Kaiba created like synchros, and that somehow created XEs, which then created pendulums. Like, it sounds crazy on paper, but like in the world of Yu-Gi-Oh, once more, where this is how they do and die on things, this makes sense. I'm okay with this. Chumlee, he had a very like round character design, and I'm only saying that because I'm looking at his ears, and that's really it. I don't know how his hair works, but please just comb it or cut it. Make up your mind. Plus, he also had the red nose, so I'd imagine he'd grow up to be a drunk. Oh my gosh, this guy, he played with hero cards. That's all I need to say. If he could see the meta now. Very bland. He's very posh. I'd imagine if he was like somebody in real life, he'd be in a country club. Look at this dude. Like, who wears a tie but doesn't pull the collar down? Obviously this guy. They're trying to give him some bangs, a little bit of a but it's just like his hair is just like one big mop. Like, it feels uninspired. I think that's what I'm looking for. It's like,
Hey, we need a new character.
all right, here's this character. You got any hairstyles for him?
No, just pick like 47.
All right, going with hairstyle 47.
and then boom, you have this guy. I think he was the headmaster who was like in on everything. Like, let's back up for a minute. This is a school built on an island that is funded and made by Kaiba Corp. So Kaiba had a very large hand in it. How did he go about the hiring process? Like, did he tell this guy, the headmaster, hey, the sacred beasts live in this area. I need you to resurrect them by like building up dual energy and like and making this a thing. Can you do it? And he said yes. Like, it was so weird. I don't know if he's ever dueled in the show, but if he did, I'd imagine he's lost because he just plays with a very rogue deck that just doesn't really get into any top spots. Plus he's bald, so I don't really have much to say about his hair. Oh, this is the brother, Cyrus. Honestly, I love dub, but dub watchers, we gotta take an L on this one because Cyrus's voice, it hurt. It hurt. Not only did he have just the weirdest hairstyle compared to his brother, his whole, like, he had the Yugi look. He had like the doorknob eyes. He started off as a Slifer red and then he like worked his way up to blue, but he did it with the most weirdest deck out of all. Like, the dude literally played with roid cards, like trains and planes and automobiles. It was weird, like,
because his deck was trash in real life. I just never liked his deck style. Not that it was like goofy or silly, because again, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, embrace that, right? That, if anything, gives you a personality, and obviously it worked because I'm talking about it and I remember it, but like, his deck was trash, dude. His deck was just
garbage.
but his voice was annoying. Like, okay, next it's my turn. Now I summon Steam Gyroid. Like, it was like he was always gonna crack and cry whenever he drew a card.
I'm not Rent.
Can we all say Yami Merrick? This is Yami Merrick Neo. This is Light Merrick. Like Dark Merrick, but like Light Merrick. How his hair is like banging in the middle of his forehead, I don't know. I would need to see a side profile, but I'd imagine that it's not like a bang. It's just like a, it's like a piece of hair that just goes up. But then he's got like the crown, but then his hair like goes out in the back. It's like, he's got like 3 different archetypes of a hairstyle going on, and that upsets me. His earrings are basic, his eyes are nice, but his cheeks are sucked in. There's like one shot of him where it, like, his face is like they were really trying to channel their inner Merrick. Did it work?
I won't confirm nor deny that.
But he is a character. Next. If I remember correctly, I think she had a feeling for Jaden. I think she was 13, and she was a pretty decent duelist. I don't... How do I put this? Her hair looks a mess, alright? Her hair looks a mess. She's got like a part here, a part there, and then she's got the hair that goes all the way to her back. Now, mind you, now, if she is to be 13 or very young, because again, I can't remember like what the age limit was to get into the dueling school, but I think she like snuck her way in or something like that because she wanted to see Jaden. If that is the case, why does she have such a defined like chest? Like it's just like why are you puckered? You know what I mean? Like, it's just so weird that it's like when you look at it, it's trying to draw attention to that, and maybe this is just, you know, anime being anime, but like, never really liked it. But it's okay because it wasn't as egregious as like Zexal, because I think with Zexal everybody was trying to put the moves on the main character, and it was weird because they were like all like 13, 14 in that show. Ah yes, the Crystal Beast guy. I think he talked with a country accent, which that I don't remember much of it, but like I can kind of see it, kind of not. I say it with hesitation because I think there's like 2 more characters that talked with a country accent. I don't know if they were like running out of like VAs at the time, or if like people with like distinct voices were busy at the time, but like everybody was talking in like the southern hick. He wears a jacket, it's a thing. I'd imagine his outfit has like the frivolly foofs at the bottom, but like his hair matches the color of his eyes almost, and I think maybe that they should have made like his eyes like blue or like a dark purple, something to like bounce off of whatever else he has going on with his outfit. But I don't write characters for a living. He had a rainbow dragon. Maybe it could have been code for something. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out in July when Konami changes their colors.
Yeah, right.
Wow, I feel offended. This, I don't remember his name unless hanging with Axel, and Axel is his name. Also, shout out to Axel from Mega Man X7. If you're out there, you're legit. It's unique. It's unique. I'm not gonna knock it. It's unique. It's very tribal, which maybe this might be like my inner hood coming out, but it's just like, it's always when it's like people of color or like black people in anime, there's always like this primal feel to them. It's either they're so far back in the times that they haven't progressed with the rest of society, or they're so tried and true in their old ways that like they can't see the new technology right in front of them. I could be overthinking that, but like there's something about it that feels very like when I see this, and I'm like, I don't know if that's what they were going for, but again, this is Japan's take on like other cultures outside of the world, so give them a break, give them a break. Yeah, the hair is fine, the hair is fine. I guess that's like braided beads around his head, which is fine, I like it. The bangs come down to give his face the shape. Pretty cool. I mean, the nose is the nose. We can't really, I mean, heck, even I have a nose like that. Like I can't even knock it. The lips are pretty punctuated. They're out there. They're not like Mr. Popo level of egregious, but they're noticeable. The eyebrows or lack thereof, I don't know. Like, how would this look in real life? Would this be like somebody's like eyeliner, like with the little sharp pointer? Or is this like his eyebrows like really furrowed in? I don't know. Any girls out there who do foundation and makeup? Let me know. The chain on his neck, I'm not sure why he has it on. I'd imagine it'd be for like story related reasons, but if not story related reasons, it's a waste of space. Like your neck is busy enough as it is. You're very muscular. I'm sure you're carrying like 2 decks packing heat, but this screams like African South African. This is fine. This is fine. I think he played with a flame deck, so that's fine. As long as he wasn't playing with like a safari deck.
Then I would have really had something to say.
Yes, that is an actual alligator on his back, but hey, Chris Pratt carried a dinosaur on his back and Jeff Goldblum wouldn't let him hear the end of it. So, this is normal. I forget his name, but I think he talked with a country accent as well. His bandage over the eye, I think had it wasn't a glass eye, but it had like it was like a device on his eye or something like that, where like it would stop the intent of somebody else if they were going to do bad. Like let's put it this way. Whatever is underneath his eye, its sole purpose was to make sure it protected the people he cared about. I don't know how that translates to a power in anime, but it does. But maybe this was like another version of like the Millennium Eye, which again, going back on the world building, that's pretty cool. I like that idea. His hair, honestly, it's giving me 5D vibes, but we weren't there yet, so I'll just say 5Ds ambiguously. He's got the hat, which I guess goes into the aesthetic of like, you know,
I'm a duelist with a crocodile on my back.
Maybe he's Australian, I don't know. But yeah, he's normal. And then you have this guy on the right side who's got hair locks that look like Pez dispensers, but he's basically Rex Raptor if Rex Raptor hit the gym like every single day and stole your girl, but then was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna give her back to you. He plays with a dinosaur deck, so I'm totally not biased. Pretty solid deck overall. It was definitely a step up from Rex Raptor's deck because his monsters had effects, his monsters had like floats, and if you put him up against Rex Raptor would just get blown out of the water. I'm sorry. Like his red eyes, unless he gave it like, you know, metal more for power-ups and amps, there's just no way he's beating a deck this consistent. And I think that's what was really cool about GX, is because their decks had a lot of consistencies before the anime shenanigans took place.
Excuse me, very attractive.
And that's all I want to say. Cool character design. Okay, I'm thinking of a monk because of the beads on his neck, but I think he also played with cloud cards. But if I remember correctly, he also had like a version of Exodia in his deck, which was weird because it's just like...
I know it was a big deal when Weevil threw Yugi's Exodia cards off the boat. But like, you could always make those cards again, right? Like, why didn't he ever go back to make Exodia? Or get those cards, right? Probably because the duels would be too easy, but like, why don't you go back for them? But like, they had the Black Exodia, they had Legendary Incarnate Exodia, I believe. They had Forbidden Lord Exodia, which I think he had. But the way each Exodia could be summoned or used all worked differently. Like, they all were stapled with the you instantly win the duel, but they had different ways of going about getting to that condition. And I thought that was cool. But to give it to this random, you know, fiery spiked haired dude with like monk ears, it was just like, okay, like, yeah, give it to this guy.
I'll say this about Yu-Gi-Oh! For all of their series in general. To have that many archetypes, that many styles, that many personalities with different characters, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of creativity in the cards for Yu-Gi-Oh!
As it should be. There's like 10,000 of them.
This is Panic again. I'm sorry. It's Neo Panic. Yes. So how do I say this? Like, it's like he's got the like hair in his face like a certain someone who will not be named that totally did not beat the King of Games. But he's also got like the Tristan hairstyle where like it just It's like
Dong.
it's weird, but he also has a very prominent face, and I feel like if he had a voice, which I'm sure he did in the dub, if we had one, he'd probably sound like 4Kids' interpretation of Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know?
Next, I play my card, a snake in the grass. Yeah.
But yeah, hair it's stiff. Snakes are supposed to be loose and, you know, slithery. Or maybe they're supposed to be stiff and tight when they constrict on their enemy. I don't know. You be the judge. I'm not a zoologist. Oh my gosh. Okay, definitely not gonna let my bias show on this one because I think this little dude's name is Marcell, but it's Marcell with 1 L. And if you know anything about me, that's my name. But I'm Marcell with 2 L's. The one true Marcell that exists in said timeline. Now, I say all that to say because Yu-Gi-Oh! Villains started getting smaller and smaller for some weird reason, but they still tried to give them that hinge of like, wow, he's unferaled, he's crazy, kind of like Merrick, but like nobody could do it like Merrick. I'm sorry. Let's start from the bottom up. His dual disc, it's a spawn from the underworld. It's very creepy looking. Its graveyard slot is a mouth, and the hand is, let's put it this way, it'd be funny if that was a glove. It's like how to be evil but for kids. I can't remember if he was a raw yellow duelist. Like, he's got the collar and everything else, but like it's like, let me add a cape to that because I'm evil. You know, it's like you don't always have to have a cape. But I think this was either before The Incredibles or just right around The Incredibles. So maybe the idea of no capes wasn't introduced yet. Wasn't meta-defining yet, dare I say. Face-wise, pretty normal. Nothing much going on. Eyeliner's not too crazy. And his eyebrows, a little trimmed, but that's okay. You gotta have style when you're the main villain, right? His hair is completely basic. It comes down and then it just sticks out and then that's all she wrote. Also, I don't want to call him a garbage tier duelist, but forget you because you kept spamming super polymerization and you ruined the TCG for us. Ah, yes. Yubel. A monster, but also a duelist. And some ancient spirit from way back when that was
never established.
I guess you could say it was implied maybe throughout like old Yu-Gi-Oh and GX leading up to this point, because like yeah, you had like the Duel Monsters cards, but like I look at the Duel Monsters cards like a new version of dueling from back how they used to do it in the old days with the tablet, right? It's like that. So like that was the ye old way, this is the modern way. And then within all of that Egyptian shenanigans, you had certain things that take place in the background that were either directly caused by the pharaoh or indirectly caused by the pharaoh. And not necessarily Yami-Yugi, but like just other pharaohs that ruled throughout their time. I think Yami-Yugi's dad was a pharaoh at one point, and I'm sure certain things took place during his rulings. Yeah, Yubel is just this funky thing that came out of the cracks. Our main protagonist is supposed to be like a supreme king
that we never knew about.
They bond together and they go off into the light before destruction hits or something like that. It's very weird. It's all over the place. 4Kids was just like,
yeah, there's no way we can get around this
because Yubel is androgynous, but Yubel is like part female, part male because they are taking key notes from off of like alchemy and duality. Like you can see it in its hair, you can see it in its eyes, you can see it in the markings. Like there's this, not one thing is ever the same, and I feel like that's what they were going for. But like in the dub they gave her a female voice, and I can't remember if they overlapped it with like another like gruffly growl
demonic
voice underneath, but that's what they went with. But it was starting to get very hard to like censor most of this stuff the later the show got on, because I think most of these start off very lighthearted, and then at the end you're fighting God, and then Satan shows up. Okay, so now we're in 5Ds, which is the second spin-off of Yu-Gi-Oh! And the third iteration of the game overall. Let's start with our main character on the left, Yusei Fudo. He definitely has main character hair. You can't argue with that. Like, he has main character hair. I remember seeing it and just going like, that actually looks pretty nice. I can't remember if I was in middle school or high school, but I asked one of my friends if she could draw this for me, and she did, and I still have a copy of it somewhere. There is a lot going on. He does have like the bangs, then the extra ones in the middle, and then he's got like the devil horns, and then he's got like the jet black wings in the back, and then he's got like two little antennas just kind of Just kind of Animal Crossing their way out of there, but it's fine. In this show, they do like ride on motorcycles, so like wearing thick clothing, layers, leather, it feels appropriate. So the jacket feels right. There is a lot of detailing into it now that I look at it. There's like all of this, like these pushes and these grooves and these bends and these folds and these creases, which is good. It's good attention to detail. He does have like a few colors going on. He's got the orange, the red, the black, the blue, grayish, black, and then the gold yellow. But it works. It works. This guy on the right, I know he's an officer. I know he's voiced by Yami Yugi, and he's also the same guy from the one in the manga from all those chapters ago. How he's not in a mental asylum, I don't know, but good on him for getting back on the horse, or on the dual runner in this case. It's fine. He's got like a, if you look at his hair without the bangs, it looks like it would just be a slick back look, but he's got like the two little things on the back of his neck, so I don't know how that would work in real life. Like, is it like nappy hair? Is it just like excess hair? Comb it or cut it. That's what we're gonna say. That's what I should have called this video. Anime hairstyles, comb it or cut it, you decide. He's got very thick eyebrows to the point where like his eyebrows are like pretty much like here, like right there. Like, that's itchy, right? That's, yeah, it's right there. Anime's gonna anime, right? So I guess I'll give it a pass. He's got like the down droopy look, so maybe he's like 30, late 30s, early 40s, could be. He's got a scar on his face because why not? Scarf in the middle, it's fine, it works. You know, you're gonna be on a dual runner, things are gonna be hitting at you a mile a minute, so cover up, it's the law. Ah yes, Jack Atlas, the wannabe Kaiba, the British Kaiba even. I think his name was a play on the word Jack A, but like, for kids. But again, they wanted to toughen up their audience a bit more, so they were like, let's call him Jack Atlas. Like, just imagine walking on the street and you'd be like,
Hey, you Jack Atlas.
Like, what'd I do?
Duel me.
his hair's supposed to be like this regular, like, just like a regular flat top. But it's like, no, let's give him spikes. Like, it looks like his hair has like wings, right? It's just, it's a thing. And then it thins out towards the end, and then he puts like little band-aid beads at the very end. And then in true narcissistic fashion, I don't know if you're able to see it from here, but his earrings have A's on it because it's his last name, in case you didn't know. He's obviously taking a page out of Kaiba Corp's Fashion Weekly, so white jacket, folds, creases, bends, and that collar is really huge. Instead of it, well, I know his coat kind of like flows outward like Kaiba's did, but I don't think it flowed out as much as his did. So for everything that wasn't put into the skill points of the bottom, it was put into the top, and it shows. He has a necklace on. I don't remember what it stands for, what it means, or what it represents, but it looks like a logo for Vanos Gaming. And there you have it. Oh, and spikes on his shoulders in case, you know, someone tries to push your bike while you're dueling, you can just stick him in the eye or something. Foul play. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know this guy's name. I did I try to watch 5Ds like episode? Yes, I tried to do that for all the Yu-Gi-Oh series, but it got to the point where like they would always start pushing the times for it, where it'd be at like 11 o'clock a.m. the new episode for it, and it would stink because it was always on Saturday, and Saturday we had to do rehearsal at our church.
So we'd all be getting ready as 11 o'clock was hitting, and we needed to be out the house somehow by 11. So when Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds was going on and airing new episodes, I had to go to church to sing in the choir for a song that we have sung for like the umpteenth time. So
I just couldn't get into it like episodically. So when they would do like marathons and somehow pushed it to Cartoon Network of all places, I tried to get into it there, and as I was watching it, I was just like, I think they're showing these episodes out of order, and I don't know what's going on. So it fell off for me in that sense, but I always kept up with the game in real life, and through that, that's how I kept up with the anime. Because let's be honest, if it wasn't for 5Ds, nobody would be using the fusion deck, okay? So yeah, this guy, his hair makes no sense. It hurts. It hurts. His hair looks like a pufferfish. Like, I'm looking at it, and I'm trying to understand it. And it's even more like alien to me because like I didn't watch the show back to back to back or as actively as I did with GX and YuGiOh. I only know it for like its big moments and some of its controversies, but like I don't know his name. It's like he's big body, tight shirt, brown jacket, and 2 scars on his face. And he can impale somebody with his hairstyle. If I had to guess his name, it'd be like Sharpie. Whoa! Wow, look at you. Look at me. Look at you. I'd imagine he's a prison warden because they had like jails in their world.
For like dueling?
Or something like that. He's got a beard. It's a lot. It looks like an anchor. If I had to guess what his playstyle would be, I don't even know. I don't want to be like, oh, he'd play like Chumley, but like Chumley played with kangaroos and koala bears, so like that's not fair to say.
But he's a big dude.
He'd probably play with like prison cards and a lot of tuners, because tuners was the big thing in 5Ds to get the synchro monster onto the field. His lips are chapped. His nose has blackheads. And he's got muscular arms, but a very round jelly belly. This is... Where do I start? Like, I just like these designs. He literally has screws in his head. Okay, he's got screws in his head. He has a wonder balloon head. I feel like he's taking inspiration from Odeon, but he forgot all of the inspiration. Big, strong, beefy duelist. Plays with obscure deck, has tuners, gets synchro monster on field. He looks very flat. Like his eyes are just like flat rectangles. His eyebrows are thin. His smile, if we can even call it that, is very flat. There's a lot of rough line work on his hands for some reason. I don't know if... Yeah, the pencil work is very rough. So I don't know if they were just like...
Yeah, don't show his torso. Cover it up.
And they were just like, alright, just draw his hands folded. They'll love it. Okay, over here we have... I don't know, Hatsune Miku. Like, what is this? Like, what is this hairstyle, though? It's just like, it's a bowl, but it's bangs. Your eyebrows are also green. But then you've got, like, ponytail on the side. It's a lot, but it's too little. And then you have like a basic white jacket, a generic shirt with some YuGiOh design, and then a bracelet for good measure. Like, you know, you just can't leave home without it. Leave me alone. Hear me out. If Bandit Keith and Joey had a kid, it'd be this dude. I don't know if his hair is actually on fire, but I'm pretty sure he plays with a fire deck. Just spitballing. He's got a flame head, alright, so he's flaming hot Cheetos. He's got the blonde patch in the middle. His eyebrows are completely unkempt. The shades are fine. He's got the nose ring. His earrings are actually symmetrical, so that's cool. Bonus points for that. He's got the little 5 o'clock shadow, Scruff McGruff, bone aesthetic, and puncture needles with dark leather jacket. It's fine. Like, it's noticeable, you know? I don't know if I'd be able to spot him out in a silhouette, but it's noticeable, you know? It gets the job done. Akiza. I didn't know till very recently that Mai voiced this character. I remember watching her duel with Yusei in CW. I always got that feeling where it's just like, man, she really feels like Mai. And then I found that she was voiced by Mai. So I thought that was cool. But that's kind of where it stops, because they also assassinated her character. They do absolutely nothing with her after the whole psychic plot arc, because she has psychic powers in this world.
You figure that out.
Right? That could be cool, because again, it's like taking the Millennium items, finding a way to put science and magic to them, and then make like a modern day weapon out of it. Rose Dragon's a legit card, but of course it has to be a dragon. Everything has to be a dragon now, so I felt like they lost points in that department. But if I'm just looking at her drip, I'm thinking Victorian era. She's got the corset going on. She's very mature for her age. She's got a necklace pendant on. I'm sure it means something, but I can't be bothered to watch all those episodes again to figure out what it is or what it means. I never liked the way her bangs flowed out, just because of the iron giant screw in the top of her head. Like, it's just so, like, it's distracting, but it works. It works. I even dare say it looks like it has a little hint of Taya in it too. but they assassinated her character, so I'll never know. This is bland. This is bland. I'm just gonna call it for what it is. It's bland. I don't know how your hair could go out that high and not smack somebody in the face. I think the only person I've ever seen pull a hairstyle off like this, but do it much better, is Space Dandy. Because you're not beating Space Dandy. Space Dandy is the dandiest, right?
Who cares, baby?
But if we're looking at it in their world, and he's the one that has pioneered this style, it's very bland, it's very basic. It's just swivel, bangs, come down, that's it. It's the mop style, right? Honestly, the suit is kind of nice. The suit's kind of nice. The suit's kind of nice. I'll leave it at that. I see he's got a little watch on right now, so I'll give him points for that. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. But his hairstyle, not feeling it. I don't know if they're referencing Bakura's old shirt with the white and the blue. If so, cool. If not, it's alright. It's okay. The jacket's nice. I like the fur on it. It gives like life to the fashion in a way. It's very detailed. It's very busy. Her hair though, I can't seem to follow it properly though, because maybe you can see this too. It's like, so if you look at her bangs and then the ones behind it, the ones that go like behind the bangs, the line goes into the hair and then you have the hair behind her. So it kind of looks like her hair is just like this flabby piece of cardboard. It's like a shelter, like a roof, if that makes sense. It's very weird. I've never been a fan of those type of glasses in anime just because there's only so much emotion you're going to get out of them, even if like the character is in like distress or trying to emote any other emotion other than being silly. It's just very hard to work through those glasses, especially if you get a team of animators that don't know what they're doing.
Not that I'm not saying these animators didn't know what they were doing.
It's just that like these glasses limit you to a lot of emotion, because the glasses are supposed to emote. And I know this because I wear glasses. I have a PhD in glasses studies. So please, if you have any questions about your glasses, click the link below to find out more about what glasses are right for you. This is definitely Odeon, but if Odeon had no cool aesthetic about him, this is very bland. This is very bland. But it works to the muted, just bleh feeling of like what 5Ds was going for. He's bald, so he gets the saving grace of not getting his hair roasted. But the face markings, meh, it's alright. It's there. It's symmetrical. Take it for what you will. I've never been a fan of like the black eyeball. Like, it looks gross, it looks scary, it's
Definitely demonic.
And then his outfit, it's a cloak, it's a thing. Yeah, that's it. That's it. It kind of looks like the Avatar symbol the more I look at it, but he's definitely not the chosen one.
Are you the Avatar Ong?
Whoa, let me start with the left. Okay, we have not Joey. I think he was supposed to be evil. I heard something about that on the internet, that he was supposed to be like the twist villain, which if that was the case, that would have been cool, because it would have fit more in line to the mature angle they were trying to go for. Because hey, you're gonna make friends, and sometimes friends are gonna betray you. I guess because his deck of like the crow archetype was so popular, they were like,
oh, let's just keep him as a good guy.
If that's the case, that's pretty silly, but it's also pretty funny. I like how Yu-Gi-Oh is influenced by the real world, and the real world is influenced by the anime, and they're just in this symbiotic relationship, just constantly in a dance. He's got the armbands. I don't know why he needs to have it on. Like, again, he's like a 15-year-old kid. Do you really need to be like, oh, I'm a muscular 15-year-old kid? But listen, whatever. I'm 27, so this means nothing to me. Personally, I think he's got too many facial tattoos going on, and that can be really tricky when you're making your character, because like, I remember in The Legend of Korra when she had like the ponytails, she had the one in the back, she had the coat, she had the fur on the sleeves, and it was just like, there was a lot to animate, right? And then as the seasons progressed, they kind of was like, okay, let's streamline this so there's not so much flapping around that we have to like make animations for in real time as it's reacting with all these things around it. And when it comes to facial features and just designs and stuff like that, when is enough enough? Like, imagine trying to like make a character, right, but they look like Tekashi 6ix9ine. Also nice, that's my birthday. So he's got like the whoosh, and then he's got the, but he also has like an M on his head.
Number 2, we got heat. Number 3, we got it. Number 4, we got beat. Number 5, we got Number 6, we got.
You have a tattoo on your face, you'll never get hired. He's got hair like Aster. It just kind of just droops down. It's just a mop look. And it's like,
okay, here's your face tattoo and here's your black eyes.
Their designs for like a evil character are very like, it's simple. It's simple, it's basic, and sometimes that's okay. Like, less is more, right?
Clearly they didn't take that when dealing with Crow.
The outfit's fine, it's a cloak, it looks busy. I'd imagine that the piece in the middle unbuckles and then the thing comes off. I don't know what the sharp triangles are in the middle. I don't know if it's a chain or if it's connected to something, but it looks busy, it looks uneven, and I think the character would have been better off for it. I also don't know his name. And this is the same guy. Oh, it's the girl with the glasses, now with black eyes. And she only has one mark on her face. That top collar right there, it's busy. I feel like we're scraping at the bottom of the barrel, but we're not even done with like all of Yu-Gi-Oh yet. So remember that guy from GX that was just all buff? The Kagemaru dude? I feel like she's got like the long bangs from that, but then her hair does something in the middle, but then she has a bead, which I don't know, what is that hanging on to? Like, you have to deliberately put that in your hair every morning, right? You think evil people brush their teeth? Just put that out there. It's safe. It's bland. And let me just make this clear. Bland doesn't mean bad. It's just, it's not noticeable, but it's not underwhelming.
I think I made bland sound like it's really bad.
It's fine. Like, she's got the black eyes. She's got the mark on her face. I guess if I looked at all of these dark-eyed characters or whatever, there'd be some uniformity in it. But one was orange, one was green, one was red, one was purple. Unless they're trying to unite their powers and make the color of the rainbow or summon Captain Planet, it's really not much to them. If anything, she kind of looks like a Neo version of a Shizu, if a Shizu was Irish. Okay, so remember Kagemaru with the so forget that, but like just look at the body for a second. Why? Okay, genuinely asking why. Like, I'll give you like 5 seconds. Okay, your time is up. What is like the hair just let's just get that out the way. Boom. He's got all the markings known to man. I like how the lines cover up where his nipples would be, but like it's paint, I'd imagine, so like you're really not gonna cover them up, or like just don't draw them. But he's super duper muscular for like no reason. Like, why? Is that really gonna enhance your dueling skills? Is that gonna give you the edge? I'd imagine if you're gonna be like riding on your bike, right, in this show, dueling, you'd want all the weight reduction possible so you can go fast, because I think being in first place also played a pretty big factor in how turns were decided and stuff like that. I could be wrong on that, but like, you don't need all that juice, bro. I feel like that plate is like pushing up against her breast really hard, and that constrains my chest. I feel like I have a viral heart disease right now. It's fine, it's a collar. She's got the pads, I'd imagine she's on a bike too. Her hair is very long. She looks like a mix of Serenity, Joey, and Mai. Maybe it's their child. Okay. Okay, this is pretty bland. Like, this is pretty bland. Like, who on the animation team said, give him Super Saiyan hair, but just give him that one hair that just, give him that one cow lick, but it doesn't lick. It just, it's stuck there. And of course, he's got the face hair that just cuts right through his cheekbones. This is very he looks like a GX character. Which is weird because certain characters from GX look like they belonged in 5Ds, but like, he's very bland. His outfit, I'm gonna imagine like a tracksuit. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. He could never be a main character. He looks like a movie character, but a filler movie character. It's like Bandit Keith, but if he never went into the path of cheating. I don't know how that would affect his hairstyle, but it somehow does. And the hits keep on coming. It's fine. Like, I just like, what do you say to that? Like, it's fine. Like, oh, Kawaiso. Like, it's fine. Okay, so I'd imagine he's like the boss of like the past 3 people we saw. His eyebrows are two-toned, so we're off to a great start. I feel like he's trying to be like the Jack guy on the left. I think his jacket is overlapping what's underneath, but he's also got fur gloves. It looks hot. His hair kinda looks like main character vibes, or maybe like a side character. They definitely wanted to do something with it, I can tell. But what is this? Wait, am I looking at that right? Okay, so let's start from the bottom and work our way up. Why does this look like a Blue Eyes? If Blue Eyes did drugs. Am I to believe that it's a cut over its eye? How's that sticking on? You know what I mean? Like, does somebody stitch that in? Is it a patch? I don't know. It looks like the top piece overlaps and there's supposed to be something underneath it. And then there's fur. Which really wouldn't look good in real life. It would just be like a bunch of like loose threads just up in the air. Like, that does not look good in real life. Unless that's like the particular style you're trying to go for, or you play in like an indie band. He's got the symmetrical earrings, so that's cool. I don't know why his hair is making me think like fishnet, but fishnet? Because his hair like in the middle does like a loop, and a loop, and a loop. It's kind of weird. And then the other parts just kind of go in. It's bland. Is bland. That's GX is bland too, but like 5Ds is like capital letters, all bland. Bro, what are these outfits? Okay, so he has like shark fins, I guess. Like you have to get dressed. You know what I mean? Like, you have to get dressed and you have to take this off. He wears gloves. He's got the fur. He's got the shredded Blue Eyes look. He's got the same hair like the other dude with the two-tone, unless they're like brothers. He looks like Siegfried. Bonjour. Oh, wait a minute. His eyebrows bleed into his hair. Dude, how does that work? So when you go like, hey, does the rest of your hair like move with that? That don't make no sense. Am I looking at this right? So he's got the... Bro, I'm about to have a visual stroke. So he has what looks like the infinity donut in his chest, and then a rod. I'd imagine this is metal because I don't know how else this would stay on your body. It's a bath shawl. That's what it is. He's got a bathroom curtain around his body. This dude's walking around with Ring of Destruction on his body. I mean, I honestly can't critique the hair because the bath shawl just... It steals the show. Whoa! Wait, is that a sword? Wait, what? Okay, hold on. Now we're getting into like Transformers 5 The Last Night territory because this isn't making any sense. You have a sword. Somehow, unless your sword is like, what if you pulled out the sword and then it like gave you like your duel slots, but now you have to do the duel the whole time while holding the sword and then drawing the cards. That's pretty cumbersome. There's a collar piece, and then it goes into like a big old hood, which I don't know how it could cover their hair, because that is some stiff looking hair. Oh my gosh, it kind of looks like so the left part of the hairstyle is like, looks like the normal hairstyle, and then the right side kind of looks like it regrew. So maybe like something exploded. I don't know. If so, that's really dark. Fitting, because I guess that's what they were going for this show. But I'm not really a fan of that hairstyle. It's busy, but it's not like noticeably I'm the next King of the Pirates noticeable. If that makes sense.
Nice try.
Dude, I'm like, where do I start? Where do my eyes begin? Okay, so he's taking up like literally 56% of the screen right now. He's a chunky boy.
He's thick, boy!
Okay, so he's not muscular, but he's big. Even though his body's like slimming down. Okay, I don't know. I can only imagine what the bottom half looks like, but so it looks like he has like a butterfly thing. He has like Sparks the Dragonfly on his collarbone, his chest, and his I almost said rectum, his sternum. But yeah, I don't know, maybe he does have one there. Who knows, right? 5Ds going fast. His eyebrows, eyebrows, and then there's like a ball in the middle of his head. I don't know what's going on here. I think they just got bored after a while. This looks very uninspired, and the hair is busy. Like, it's just sharp point, sticks up. This is a really bad character design. I'm trying to be nice, but this one's really bad. Yeah, I can't. Like his eyeliners go off his face. Like he is full on Maybelline mode. No complaints here. He looks like Yusei because of the little mark on his head. But if that's the case, how does his hair fit in that dome? The eye looks like it doesn't belong in that spot. Maybe like a little bit lower, but then how big is his mouth?
What that mouth do though?
Oh geez, now we're in Zexal. Okay, so everybody in this is young. Let's just start with that. Everybody in this show is young. And the hair just don't care. Out the window. Our protagonist, bottom to top, let's see. He wears a lot of like belts and trinkets and whistles at the bottom. It's very busy. He got the Pyramid of Light from the discount store. I will say this though, Zexal was cool for taking that dynamic that Yugi and Yama-Yugi had and treating it with like a sense of like realism a little bit. Like if you had like a 5,000-year-old dude living in your body telling you to switch out with you every time he wanted to do something, you'd probably be like, yeah, no, I wanna let me handle this. I got this. I do remember catching the first episode of this just to see what the opening was and the summoning mechanic. I like it. I really like the opening song. I think it's called Take a Chance. But anyway, back to this dumpster fire. The jacket's pretty fine. It looks tight. It looks comfortable. It looks like something I would wear, honestly, if I like pulled up the sleeves, if it had sleeves. But he's not muscular, so we're off to a great start. Then you come to the hair. So he's got this Australian spider like behind, and it's a lot. Okay, it's a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what the like red piece is supposed to denote, but I'd imagine it's like an intimidation factor to like really scare your foes before you duel them. If so, genius design. But this is just silly. He's got like imagine the spider hooks gone, right? Then imagine the two fangs gone. And it's just his bowl cut hair. Then we have this guy on the right, who I think is supposed to be the Kaiba of this show, but they also pulled a bait and switch like they did in GX. I think he fights with shark cards, because his name is Shark.
Get it?
But his ace monster was a dragon, which I don't see anybody use in today's time, so good job for defining the meta there. His hair is like, it like flops down normally, but the fact that it like comes back up, like it doesn't curl, it comes down, straightens, and then curls. I find that very weird. And then he's got like the blue crown in his head because storytelling, I guess. He honestly kind of looks like Sasuke too. If you really look at his eyes long enough, he kind of looks like Sasuke. Maybe that's what they were going for. I don't know, because Boruto hadn't happened at this time yet. Uninspired necklace, it's there, it's whatever. I'd say pull your shirt up a little bit and change the purple. There's too much purple going on. He's got light purple, dark purple, and then like AD07AF purple. And if you know the code, then you've been in Photoshop way too long. Okay. If Weevil lived throughout all generations of Yu-Gi-Oh! And then somehow like became like an SJW, this is what I feel he will. This looks like Weevil. Okay, this looks like Weevil. He's got the tiny little topper hat. I think his hair is split in the middle. Like he's got one part and then this and then it curls. And that's he's got an angry mark on his head. He's got a muscle vein popping right now. Thin eyebrows. He's got glasses on. Well, I'll give him a pass for that because I think in their world they had to have like scouters on to like look at the augmented reality or something like that. His smile is creepy as heck. He's got a big old like what is he wearing? He's got frivolly foofs at the bottom and a really thick jacket. He's a really big head and really big ears.
These are kids, by the way.
I'm like, what am I looking at? Like, all I see is him pointing at me, and I'm like, what am I looking at here? You know what Zexal feels like? Zexal feels like costumes. It feels like everybody's wearing a costume. That's what it feels like. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't, like, real in their world. It's just, it's make-believe. It's kind of like with Digimon Tamers. So it was Adventure 1, Adventure 2, and then Tamers. I think in that one, they basically said that Adventure 1 and Adventure 2 was just all make-believe. And it was, like, inside of, it was like a TV or something like that. And in Digimon, in that world, was a card game, and you digivolved the Digimon by sliding the card.
Even though that was like super dope.
Okay, we're all seeing this, right? Like, you see how her ears... Wait, hold on, she has human ears, but she also has cat ears, so she has 4 times the hearing. Let's clear that up. Now, if I'm looking at this correctly, her hair is blending into her hair in the back. She's a cat. She has a bell on her neck, because 12-year-olds. The glasses honestly don't even do anything for me at this point, and she has a bald top head. You know what her intro music should be? It should be that, well, remember that, what was it called? I don't know what it's called. It's the thing with the Egyptian cat, and they're doing like the dance, and it's like that's what she is. Oh god. If I remember correctly, this guy slapped the main character like so many times in a duel. Yuma has like the worst track record when it comes to dueling, but I think he's also voiced by Goku, which if so, neat. But like his hair though, it's like you can't see where it comes out of the cap. It's not doing like a, you know that character in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the one with the top hat, and then it kind of like comes out the back, but the hair looks like it's a part of the hat that's torn. I don't know. It's like this, but you don't know where it ends and where it begins. So it's just kind of like a PNG of like hair. And he's got like a green cowlick that just comes out of the top, and we never question it. He's chumly, but like he's chumly. You know what I'm saying? Like he's buffly. He has no chin, so I guess that could double as his Adam's apple and his chin. I know it's Astro, but I'm like, why is he black? It's
Dark Astral.
I'm sure that's the name they went with. It's a thing. If I remember correctly, I think Astral and like his people or whatever were aliens. So like now there's aliens in YuGiOh, which isn't too far off when you realize that there was Yubel and then the vampire. This works. This works.
So I don't know why people are, you know, getting up in arms when it comes to Boruto, because that's just how anime goes.
I'm not ranting, by the way. His hair's kind of weird that it does like that little like, it's like Chaz's hair, but like just more cleaned up. He has a lot of marks on his face, and it's really weird that they decided to go with the black eye on top of the black iris, on top of the black pupil, on top of his black body. Like, that's just... This was another meme episode, like the one with the buff lady that fought with the Amazon tigers. That was a duel monster come to life, that was having a crush on Jaden. I think it was like this as well, except this is a real person. She's super young, so please excuse me. So that was a thing. You have this character, I think her name was like Kanan Boon or something, because she has a rocket launcher, like a legit gun, as a 14-year-old, just shooting it off in the city. Tactical nuke! I don't remember how it ended. I'm pretty sure they didn't get together, but like the top of her hair looks, I'm not gonna lie, like a heart, and then it does the two-tone thing, and then it comes down. Her eyes are very big. Like, how was she able to carry that with arms that skinny?
It would have made sense if she was buff in this one, is what I'm saying.
It's fine. Slick hair. Are the bangs noticeably distracting? Yes, but like, it's not bad. Like, she's got like blue highlights and orange eyes. It's fine, but the outfit's pretty fine too. I don't know why she's clutching herself so hard, but it's fine. Let's start with the left. So spoiler alert, this person ended up becoming the Kaiba of the show because he plays with Photon Dragons, another meta-defining card in the TCG. I also think he had a brother that he was trying to save or whatever.
Oh my goodness!
He's got like the Olympian torch head going on. Again, like the other guy who was pointing at me very aggressively. His hair is blonde and his hair is dark blue. What do you think the color palette for this was? It feels like they just kind of ran out of options. Because I think Zexal was supposed to be like bright and colorful, and then like you got this guy who's just like fun. What is that? Can you duel it? No. This guy, I'd imagine, right? I'd imagine they're like super carefree, but they have a really dark past. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, carefree duelist, plays with a very silly memey deck, but they got some stuff on the inside. He's got the frivolly foof. Can't get enough of those. His hair's doing the bang thing, but instead of it being like sharp, jagged points, They're just all little curls. Wait, what am I looking at? Okay, so yeah, it's kind of losing me at the left side because like his hair is white, but his arm is also white too, and it's kind of moving in the same direction of his hair, so it looks like it's just kind of all blending in. You'd think he was a one-armed duelist, which if there was a disabled duelist in the world of Yu-Gi-Oh, that'd be pretty interesting to see. So your hair, it's slick back, it's long, you've got bangs. It's funny how his purple bang cuts in with his turquoise bang, so you can't, like, I would have drawn the line a little, like an inch over, and then brought it down. And I'm not really feeling it. Like, was it a conscious decision to make your hair white, magenta, and Hasade Miku? If you say yes, you're a bum tier villain. He has a scar on his face.
That makes him a character.
No, it does not.
So remember that fiery dude from 5Ds? This is his kid. He has an iron mask for a face. He's probably LARPing as like a knight. What is this? Like, yo, who looked at this and said,
Yeah, that's a character.
he looks like Crowler's dad, but just, I'm not even gonna make a drug joke. He just looks like Crowler's dad. This is ugly. This does not work. I wish I could like rotate the characters. Like that's, wow. Yeah, and his outfit's kind of silly too. Like how does it zip up? So it zips up, left, down, right. Yeah, no, I'm lost and my thing is falling off. YuGiOh! Okay, ignoring Super Saiyan for a second, let's look at the right side for right now. His head is the hair. He is Sasquatch. I think at this point, it was then like, yeah, there's aliens in Zexal. And he's an alien, but like, he's a red body with a burgundy jacket torso, a gigantic bedazzled bead, but his head is his hair with an iron mask. Then over here you have Super Saiyan Yuma. Let's start from bottom to top, shall we? Let's look at his left arm. I'd imagine that's where his dual disc goes, but I don't know how that thing folds, how it works, how it operates, where the chinks in the armor. A gigantic shoulder pad, which we like to call gem zits, and like armor? I'm confused. He has markings on his face. I think he fused with the spirit.
Sure.
I'll look at it like an improper version of like when, you know, like when Yugi transforms into YuGiOh, and then, you know, he's got like the extra hair and stuff like that. It's like that, but a more crude version. Even though this show is like much further along in technology wise, but it still feels very crude. His hair just like just full on spider, like he's a tarantula now. This is a lot, and then his red fangs just kind of, but you can still see, like in the upper left, you can still kind of see like the base of his head in a little just sticking there. I'm not really a fan of the design, but it's a thing. I remember this guy being in the show. I remember watching pieces of him in this part of the show, and I could tell he was evil. He looked like Crow. He looked like a turned Crow. His hair is fine. I mean, he's got the cheekbone hair again for like a young kid. That looks like it'd be painful. Then you have this guy over here who's very bland. He's the brute of the group. Like, you know, he's the brute, and he probably talks like, I draw. He has hair, but like, it's a mohawk. It's whatever. The point of a mohawk is to be rebellious. So like, I'm not even gonna clown you. If they're trying to take the chess piece and pay homage to the Millennium Puzzle, I hate it. I don't like this. It's a thin body. It's cooler, but like if Cooler like just lost all the white parts of him. He's got all these bracelets and bands and belts for no reason. Well, I'm sorry, space bracelets and belts. And then I think that's his hair, but I don't know. It looks like a helmet. But he doesn't have a mouth, so I guess we'll never know. You know, like when your eyes are like bloodshot and you got all the veins popping out?
Yeah, I bet you think that looks cool in anime, and albeit it does sometimes, but like in real life, no.
Everything is yellow and gold, so it kind of loses me as I move up and down his body. Regular hair, I guess. It's weird that maybe the spear in the middle is pushing his hair back, and that's why it's causing like a second part of the bang. I don't know what's the middle of his chest, but I don't like it. Plus his rib cage. He needs a sandwich. It looks like there's like a hand grabbing the back of his head. There's something about her bangs that feel a little like the one on the far left. It looks like it needed more space to be parted a certain way, but I don't know. I don't draw characters, so a little frivolly foof and a pinky ring. You don't really see too much of those, but she's got the pinky ring. All right, if you're into that kind of thing, it's here. I think their design is just really gold pieces and christened crunchy diamonds. That's it. Like just bedazzle them and that'll do it. His hair is still the same, except it kind of gets really aggressive and just goes like full-on lotus flower, but he also loses his mouth, so he can't debate us on this. If that's what you think makes your character cool, knock yourself out. There is so much light on the screen right now. Okay, let's go to Super Saiyan 3 real quick. I like how the crazier these designs get, the less of the body you start to see. Like where's the humanoid in this? Actively look at this and tell me where are the arms at? Where's the torso? Where's the chest, right? You see it, but then you like lose it like the minute you blink. His hair is full on Super Saiyan, there's no refuting that. His fangs went outward and then went inward. He's also crying tears of blood from all his vanquished foes. And his chin, it has a dark dimple. And the inside of his eyes are like blue highlights. It's like if a kid was just throw a bunch of crayons at him and it's like, make something. And then they make Yuma SS3. I don't know if he still won his duel, but like, Yuma would get a power up and he'd still lose. That's how bad we're talking here. This guy, I think his name was Don 1000 or Don 1000 or something like that, which is kind of cool, not gonna lie. Kind of gave me like a is the Don kind of feel. This is a lot. His body is blending into his arms with the color scheme. He's got the accents of red. He's got this wicked sharp medallion on his chest, earrings, and the Eye of Sauron on his forehead. It's plain, but it's like plain in all capital letters. It's like a plaid shirt. Like you know it when you see it. He's half white and half white. I'll say this. Despite our Christmas-colored protagonist, one thing that I thought was really cool about Arc-V was that it recontextualized the dueling format of the TCG and in-world. I thought that was pretty cool. You've got your standard dimension, synchro, XCs, and then your pendulum.
Even though the pendulum was a complete butt pull out of nowhere.
But like, it made sense in their world, and honestly, just for that alone, that was a really cool concept. The idea that there's 4 dimensions where 4 different styles are taking place, each one was trying to overcome the other. I thought that was pretty cool, from what I'm remembering anyways. We have our protagonist, YuGiOh Sakaki. It's a hairstyle. Like, what am I supposed to say? It's a hairstyle. It's Christmas and Thanksgiving all wrapped up into one. I'm also detecting a hint of like pumpkin spice by looking at the shirt. I don't know if this show was trying to get back to their roots of like old school Yu-Gi-Oh in terms of like certain aesthetics, because I feel like GX thought they were fine. They were like, yeah, we can keep on doing this. And then when they realized it wasn't as popular, and 5Ds was supposed to be the next thing, but 5Ds wasn't as popular, despite them like aging it up and taking it a bit more seriously, I felt like they kind of went backwards with Zexal in terms of like making just everything kid-friendly. Because remember, they gotta just sell cards at the end of the day. But when it got to Arc-V, I barely remember the opening to Arc-V, and it sounds, I don't want to say it sounds bad, but like, it's not the same level of like Zexal's opening, which was very like, it gave me like Bowling for Soup vibes, and Arc-V didn't give me Bowling for Soup vibes. It gave me like Kids Bop vibes, and that's not a good place to start. I know they did it like a little bit in Zexal, but certain monsters would then just get the CGI treatment, and his ace monster of, what's his ace monster? I played in my decks. Odd Eyes Dragon. I'm like,
it's Pendulum Dragon.
It's like, no, it's a Pendulum Dragon, but it's not called Pendulum Dragon.
Odd Eyes Dragon got the CGI treatment, and it always looked goofy because its hands were like, It's like if this is the base of its hand, it's got a finger here, and then take this one and bend it all the way over here, and then like all the other ones like come around here. He had like a very weird hand, and he also had even weirder feet.
Ooh, that's good.
But I mean, his design is fine. It's definitely like, it's noticeable. It's noticeable, but it's not iconic. It's not iconic. Because the goggles he could have done without. He doesn't need the goggles. Also having a star in it so you can't even see out of one eye, that's stupid. This guy on the right, so he was in the first episode, I believe. First episode, second episode. And I think the dubbing company, 4Kids, which God bless them for going on this long after getting pulled through the ringer with bankruptcy and all that. But I think 4Kids was hurting a little bit because they gave this guy the Arnold Schwarzenegger voice. And
Don't be a wimpy loser, be a winner. Come to the real
I'll have to
dueling, and I will
ask my
teach you how to
accountant
crush
about
any opponents and fill them with fear. Who will win? I will force him to battle me now. Battle God King loves nothing more than a fight, so he can attack twice in one turn. Eliminate that people!
No, not again!
It wasn't good. It wasn't good. I feel like that's always their default voice to go to. And honestly, this guy was gonna beat YuGiOh until YuGiOh butt pulled pendulums out of nowhere. Like in the story, that it makes sense as to why it showed up when it did. But like before you get to all of that, you're just like,
This dude just summoned like 5 monsters, and I had him dead to rights.
Hairstyle. He's got a very straight hairline. I'm gonna start there. He has a straight hairline because I don't think they knew what to do with it. It almost looks like his face is a mask and his hair is just behind it. But it definitely looks like ice cream cones upside down, and it's dinner time. Yummers. He's as tall as the protagonist. What is this? Bro, his hair looks like a Jenga Tetris piece. She kind of looks like a fanfic version of a Shizu. Maybe it's a Shizu's kid, because the Shizu finally got with the Pharaoh in the afterlife. I'm sorry, my big sister, but...
The ship has set sail.
She has a musical note on her collar, and I'm not sure why, but I'm going to ignore that. Like, there was 4 other versions of her that fought the darkness and sealed it away or something like that, and then it came back, and that's how pendulum summons happened.
It makes sense, but it's weird when you say it out loud.
Looking at her hair, I don't know what the 2 suction cups are supposed to be. She's got like this whoof, but then it's holding up her other bang, so I don't know how her hair would work if it got wet. You can't look at this and tell me this isn't Chumley.
He looks like he belongs in Beyblade.
I feel like they just made characters and they were just like,
Yeah, is this okay?
they're like,
Yeah, that's fine. Alright, make her a character.
oh geez. I feel like he's evil because he has a lollipop. It's pulling back on one side, it's drooping down on one end, and then it's like Beyblading on the top end.
You wore a tie on top of like your uprooted collar.
Now, I don't know if they were going for this, but like the scarf that she has in her hair, so you see how it has like the 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4? Maybe that's like symbolism for like the 4 dimensions. If so, that's pretty cool. It looks wet. There are ninjas in their world now. He has no hair. Bland beat cop officer. Yo, I thought of the Cart Titan. You know what? He's probably like the little dude from GX. He's like Marcell.
I'm the evil character now.
His hair makes absolutely no sense. I like the fit going on here. It's very like, ooh, like Royal Guard. And then he's got like the accents of gold. Like, that's nice. That's nice. He's not main character worthy, but it gets the job done. I think she's supposed to look older. I don't really see it. I think the most she did was just unzip her jacket. Now, I don't know if somebody was pressed for time and if you guys can see it, but like the way his hand is on his hip, it looks like it hurts. Bro, her ears are huge. They all have the same eyes. The fact that he still kept like the goggle on his head, that kind of loses the threat factor for me. His face looks like it is in desperate need of cocoa butter. Plus his feet were like gigantic for no reason. And of course he fought with dragons. And his voice dub, it was terrible. It was terrible.
Suck. What?
This is the main character's dad, who was in on the entire thing. And he made him duel again so his son could smile, even though he walked out on his life. So he lost his ability to smile. Okay. We now come to the final iteration of Yu-Gi-Oh! We're not counting 7. And I'll put it this way. I didn't watch Vrains. I stayed around to see what the summoning mechanic was, and I left. I don't even know what the opening theme song for this anime is. I don't know. I don't know the English dub for it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the sub version of it. I just, when I saw this character, like I don't even know his name. He's just like this, like he couldn't be bothered to be dueling. That's just what it felt like, right? And then they go into like this virtual world, and he becomes this, which I think is called Playmaker. It's an Xbox gamer tag, right? And I can look past the outfit, the hair, but when he went to go speak, this dude does not sound like he looks.
The boundary between order and chaos break down to manifest as the fangs of devastation. Monsters aren't, but your spells are. Both my monsters can attack. Get ready!
Yeah, Playmaker. It's uninspired. I don't have anything for this. It's uninspired. His hair sticks out like a sore thumb, but I think that's just because the backdrop of the virtual world was also so bland. You needed something of a contrast to, you know, like make it stick. Because I think in the Vrains, I think that's what they called it.
I'm going into the Vrains.
Whatever that means.
It's just a bunch of like links and like nodes and just zeros and ones. Like, you know, when you think of like technology, you think of like blue colors and like all the like the hacker man stuff, right? But his hair makes absolutely no sense. Like it's red, pink, and gold, and then it has the accent of it in his head. Like
what?
I'm so confused. Then you have this guy on the right. I don't know his name. I don't know who he is, but he has a mask on, and he sees out of, I'm assuming, both eyes. I don't know. Let me put it this way. For every fight you do in this game, it's backed up with a quick cutscene. Not like a 3D cutscene or anything, but just like, you know, 2 characters on the screen, side scrolling stuff. Vrains doesn't have that. That's how mundane the story was. They don't even have cutscenes to tell you why you're fighting. You just go into the fight and you're like, okay, I guess I'm doing this. His head makes no sense. If you look at the top of his head, right, you see where the gold meets the brown part of his head, I guess? Does that not look like it could be a mask where it just like peels off? And it just this is weird looking. He has a torso plate, but the torso plate has abs. I don't know what her hair is doing, but it's doing something. It's like if Zexal just came into their world and just all over it. Bro, can you make your hair look like a heart shape? If you do, I'll love you forever. Dude, I don't know any of these characters. I feel so lost right now. He has hair, this is true. He's got 4 zits on top of his head, no pupils to speak of, and his outfit looks like something out of 5Ds. What is going on with her hair? What is this? Dude, you like look at the back of it, right? Look at the back of her hair where the gray part is. You see how it just clumps off into just this square? Like, what is this? At least give her like the my treatment and give it like some definition of shape. And then it bangs, and then it bangs, and then it sangs. Like, what is this? Okay, this doesn't look like a Yu-Gi-Oh character. Oh my gosh. So, I don't know what's going on with his hair. It looks like it's ready to fall off at the seams. His outfit, though, it's white on white. He's got the white jacket, the white, and then the white on the inside, and then the white inside with the T on the, like, white supremacy? What? I don't know. How are you gonna look at this and tell me this is from Yu-Gi-Oh? Wow. So remember that flame dude from 5Ds and then in Zexal? That's their kid. She looks like the girl who was the other one with the heart hair. I think so because of the clover on her cheek.
But maybe this is their second form?
I'm thinking Xbox avatar. Remember those little amiibo avatars? It looks like that. Yu-Gi-Oh at this point just became sharp hair, normal clothes. It looks like a tie. That's all I have to say. And he's doing like the power pose, so if he's feeling confident, maybe I should too.
I learned that in Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains.
the 6th iteration of YuGiOh. Yo, they're so far removed from the source. They are so far removed from the source. This hurts. What is that thing in your throat? I don't know if that was the guy from the beginning, from like way back when. But like, if this is him and he just swapped all that gold for like green, terrible decision. You could have gone somewhere with your crazy style. I see he let his hair out a little bit, so that's nice. I'm looking at his face and I'm just like, it's like that Superman meme where like his face is just so chiseled that like the rest of his body looks like unchiseled by comparison. Now you have this guy on the left. I don't know who he is, what he does, how he does it, and when he does it. But wow, his hair is really like I'm looking at it and I'm just like, why is it highlighted like that? It looks like somebody took like the stroke of it and then put it like on 5 pixels and then just like kind of went up from there. He looks like Vampire Lord. How does he get dressed in the morning? He looks like a performer. Maybe he's from Arc-V's dimension.
There is no fashion!
And that was going through what I'd like to think a large portion of the YuGiOh characters in the YuGiOh franchise. Guys, this has been quite the crazy trip. I hope you honestly enjoyed it, and if you stayed to this long, please give yourselves a pat on the back and, you know, maybe draw 2 extra cards because you honestly deserve it. Now, can't end the video without saying, Kazuki Takahashi, I am going to miss you very greatly. Your death has impacted me in ways I never knew possible. I just want to say thank you for making this game and having it take off the way that it did. Like, I don't have like any crazy story about like how I met the love of my life through like Yu-Gi or whatever, but like it was amongst my siblings and we played around with it, and it's been enough in our childhood to the point that I remember it even to today. And it's something that I'm always gonna have with me no matter like where life takes me. So you looking up above and finally ending your turn, I thank you for giving us this wonderful game where we can all feel like legendary duelists. So everybody, with that said, that's it. Thank you for being here with me on this very long journey. I don't know how long it's been, but you know what? I think we all did it together, and that counts for something. Kazuki, this one's for you. So come on everybody, let's all take a deep breath and say it with me. Stay happy, stay healthy, don't do anything I wouldn't do except duel with the heart of the cards, get my game on, feel the flow, rev it up, swing into action.
And whatever YuGiOh Vrains' catchphrase is, I'm not gonna bother with it.
Meatbag. But always keep on dueling. And I will hopefully see you in the next video. Ending my turn.